I am Stephen Levine from NASCAR Illustrated, joined this week by Mr. Bob Pockrass from Sporting News while Tom's on vacation.
He gets vacation?
Yeah, well, he just takes it. I don't know if he gets. Nobody, when he's gone, nobody really notices.
Oh, come on.
Let's talk first and foremost, Bob, about Brian Vickers' victory at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I know as journalists we're supposed to be all objective, but you can't help but feel good for Brian Vickers after the past couple of years.
Well, sure. His first win since missing part of, the 2010 season because of blood clots. You wonder whether he's ever going to win again. And here he goes, and he wins. And interesting, I asked him, I says, your comeback now kind of complete? And he was like, well, the whole point of the comeback was to win a championship. So, he still has some bigger things on his plate, but I'd say that a championship should be considered dessert. And he really got kind of the main meal in winning a Sprint Cup race.
Well, I got to say, last season, 2012, he did a handful of races for Michael Waltrip Racing, even less than he's doing this season, and turned in really strong performances, was in position to win at Bristol, and I was really impressed with him in 2012. I don't know why Penske didn't give him the 22 instead of Joey Logano, but that sort of leads us into our next topic, which is a silly season roundup. Is it pretty much a done deal that he's going to be in the 55?
It's close to a done deal. I even emailed somebody from Aaron's on Sunday night. I'm like, does this seal it? And they're like, just give us a little more time. So, the interesting part about Aaron's is that they've gone through a whole executive change over the last about 12, 18 months. And they also have an association with Chase Elliott, who Hendrick wants to bring up Chase to Nationwide. So the big question was, would they stick with Michael Waltrip Racing? Well, I think getting that win, if there's any question in anybody's mind of whether Brian Vickers can get the job done, I don't know what more he has to do.
No, absolutely. Now, the other, I guess, big name, or the biggest name looking for a ride for next year is, I guess, Ryan Newman.
The ogeristic name?
The ogre, yeah.
Is that a word?
Like Kyle Busch calls Ryan Newman an ogre. I'm like, what are you reading Lord of the Rings? Where does that come from?
Everybody likes Shrek.
You're right.
So,
or is it Harry Potter? I don't know. But so Ryan Newman's looking for a ride. Of course, Richard Childress has said he would love Kurt Busch over there, but Richard Childress is a really complex situation because who knows if he'll force out Jeff Burton, then you've got Austin Dillon waiting in the wings. So just between the Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Richard Childress puzzle, how do you see it playing out?
Well, first off, I think Austin Dillon comes up to Cup next year.
Okay.
And I think he's in the 3-car next year, and that would replace what you would consider the 2019, because I don't think you start Austin Dillon with a new group of guys, probably. You at least give him some guys that have been there
and
before.
The 29 started as the 3, so it's sort of full circle.
Exactly. So if Childress wants to start a 4th team, he could, right? And so I would think that Kurt Busch would be his first choice if he has money, if there's sponsorship that comes along with it. Kurt Busch, big if. Ryan Newman, he has this relationship with Quicken Loans. He has this relationship with Outback. If he could somehow convince those guys to move with him, then I think Richard Childress has to give him a look. Now you talk about forcing out Jeff Burton. If you look at the points right now, Jeff Burton is 17th, Ryan Newman is 19th. Even if they go flop back and forth, 2 Cup few weeks ago, or even last week, I think Burton was 21st. Is that enough to buy out somebody's contract?
Yeah,
probably not.
But over the past couple of seasons, though, Ryan Newman has been performing stronger than Jeff Burton.
Stronger, but I still don't know enough. Ryan Newman has not had a 2-win season since 2004.
Okay.
Since 2007, Jamie McMurray has 5 wins, Ryan Newman has 4. Now, granted, Ryan Newman has probably twice as many top 5s, or 30 or 40% more top 5s than McMurray. But when you look at it, the big question is it enough to want to shell out a whole bunch of extra dough just to buy somebody out?
You bring up McMurray, and Ganassi's also interesting. I mean, as a team, they've been underperforming for seasons. Juan Pablo Montoya's in a contract year. Kyle Larson waiting in the wings. It seems a little soon to me to bring Kyle Larson up, but do you want to renew Juan Pablo Montoya?
Well, I think you want to renew him for 1 year. Mm-hmm. and then you probably have McMurray, who I think is in kind of an option. It's a little bit fuzzy exactly what McMurray's status is, but again, he's 15th in points, so probably not going to do anything with him. I think Juan's the big question. Does he just say, okay, I'll take let's just go for 1 more year and then see where we're at, or does he leave if he can get a better ride that's more secure for a longer time.
But I do want to touch base quickly on what went down earlier this week at the R&D Center. Sum it up for us quickly. What are the changes that are coming in NASCAR for 2014?
Well, it's going to be 2014, but probably more 2015. A little bit more transparency, they say, in their rules process. Possibly even a rule book online that fans can look at. Definitely online for teams and car manufacturers to look at if they want to make changes or want to know exactly how to build the cars. You'd be able to have CAD drawings and 3D diagrams, hopefully in a process that they would know, okay, if we mess with this area, it's going to be a certain number of points. If we mess in this area, it's going to be a certain number of points, and take out a lot of the kind of subjectiveness of the rule book.
As well as some transparency on pit road. You know, Bob, this seems like the anti-France, the anti-Helton approach to things. Is it signal a little bit of the changing of the guard, a little bit of the passing of the baton to Steve O'Donnell?
Well, I mean, I think it's Brian. I think Brian is part of that. I would say it's more Darby, Helton kind of mentality that maybe needs to that's shifting a little bit. But I think, look at the grandstands. And you need your fans to be able to understand your sport. You don't want them arguing for hours and hours whether Jimmy Johnson is getting special treatment.
All right.
And that's what you got, right?
He's Bob Pockrass from Sporting News. I'm Stephen Levine from NASCAR Illustrated. Thanks for watching, everybody.